Hiyo natoka.
One.
Now the economic survey that I've just indicated that there was a rise in revenue.
People may say all sorts of things about the 100% transition, but it is the only thing the government must do. Because before God, all the children are equal. And therefore, every child must be given an equal opportunity. It does not mean that if you are not financially endowed and you are intelligent, you should remain in the slums. Remain there. The only way we are going to change this country is by being fair and making sure that we take all the children to school and they have the same opportunity like we did. We came from the slums and here we are. So we must do the same for all the others without prejudice. And we are going to stay focused as a government. The technocratic part of government is going to stay focused. Don't waste your time singing politics on this side and this. We are not listening to you. We are working. Like at the end of this exercise, as I close this today, as I close this 100% transition today with a good success, me and my team are going to focus on another legacy project, which is excellent, which is called competency-based curriculum. You are people of the press, go to the classrooms and see whether you think those children should be going to cram for exams or they should be acquiring skills that will help them in future. There's a lot of rubbish being spoken about cost. There is actually no cost because if you ask a child, come with a utensil tomorrow. Come with a utensil tomorrow. If that child is a Kalenjin in the village, he will come with a Mursik container. That is a utensil. If he is my grandchild in Nairobi, he may go with a plate and fork. So all this nonsense we are hearing, ignore them. And I can assure you, in my life, I think the only best thing that is happening now is a competency-based curriculum. Let us not allow the busybodies and politicians to divert. It's also true that there is an infrastructure problem. How do you want us to deal with it? We are dealing with it. And as I have said many times, most schools are not filled to capacity. Most schools are not filled to capacity. One does not become a professor without going to school. So why do you think we are not working behind the curtain to ensure that the transition is going to be smooth? Some of those people who shout, look at their credentials properly and ask yourself, where is the line? Because a professor is a professor. You should be professing something. Are we together here? Even some of the political commentators, go and look at them and tell me whether you should be listening to them or listening to the government of His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta. The jury is out there, but the taste of the pudding is on eating it. From next week, I'll be going to classrooms again, and you can be sure nothing is going to stop us. There will be a good transition, and if God gives me grandchildren, they must go through CBC. Not through a system where you are trained to pass an exam. And when you come out, you really can't even speak English. And if you are very fair to yourselves, you will listen to the so-called experts who say 844 is very good. Some of the lawyers now can't speak English. Excuse me, please. If you listen to them, not like lawyers 30 years ago who could speak and you get lost. Now me as a common person who didn't pass in English, I speak better English than some of the lawyers. Why? Because basically they cheated in the exams. That cheating is not going to be possible in CBC. And like I have said, as you say, we are focusing on grade 5. Why don't you want to look at grade 4? The marks have been uploaded on the NEC portal and they show a normal curve. Our teachers are not lying anymore. You find the 20% that is being scored has been scored correctly. Only a few have scored much, the rest are just there, and a few require extra attention. So I want to leave it there. We are not going to take this lying down, this onslaught which is based on politics and actually toxic politics and toxic. We shall not take it lying down because we are not politicians. We love our children. To say that you are buying books, let me end by this one. Which books are the children buying? Which books are the children buying? The books have been bought. And you find that for grade 5, the books were bought a year ahead of time. Right now, the process for the government using billions of shillings to buy grade 6 books is ongoing. By the time the children get to grade 6, the books will be there. They'll be there. So what is this nonsense that you see? My mother used to teach me, if you have a child who tells you now, I'm supposed to carry a utensil to school, and you are married, then you think now the child is asking for you too much. Why did you produce the child in the first place? Because it doesn't have to be anything special. It is what you usually use in your environment. Do you get the point? If you are from Luya land here, the most important utensil is this thing they use for cooking ugali. Is there any home that it does not exist in? So please let us be fair to government as you criticize, because this is not politics. Education is not politics. And I want to leave you with that, just to tell you that we are ready. We are not cowards. You are not going to see me on television arguing. You will see me in schools checking that the work is going on. I don't have to answer you on TV. For what? And if we find there are bottlenecks, we shall deal with them. And we promise to sustain this 100% transition policy this year into next year. As we approach the end of the term, 2021, I wish to thank the teachers, parents and guardians for the support they have given us to the learners, which has allowed us to continue learning. We must not take the support of the parents for granted. Every learner has a mask. The government has come in, but the bigger bulk of masking the children have come from the parents, and we want to thank them for that. I also want to thank the various head teachers across the nation who every day of the week, including Saturday and Sunday, were available to receive our children across the nation, despite the COVID-19 pandemic. I also wish to state that the government of Kenya, actually the people who are making noise should listen to this. The government of Kenya spends 25.9% of its budget on education. That is the highest in the African continent. So all these people making noise everywhere should know that as far as we are concerned, our government is spending most money on education and is willing to continue to do so. This is a testimony of the fact that His Excellency the President has attached a big premium to ensuring that children go to school, and that his directive that it is better to be crowded rather than leaving the children loitering in the slums as we improve infrastructure should be lauded. I assure the country that the government will do all that is possible to disburse the capitation funds on a timely basis. And as I speak, we are already working on capitation funds for next term. Now that money should be in schools before the term closes, but when children are in school, they find the money there. All this is in an effort to allow teachers to have a breathing space as they midwife the children that are taking time to pay their school fees. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I urge all the principals of schools to treat cases of school fees defaulters with a human face. Households are facing very serious challenges because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and hence the need to invest in a tactful management of school debts, and therefore avoiding sending children home to go and look for money. The denominator is that before you send a child home to go and look for money, can you climb from your ivory tower and go and see how that home looks like? If it is a room of 5 by 5 and 10 people are living in there, you might find that instead of sending the child home, you'll start getting people to collect money to pay for that child's scholarship. I wish to urge parents that are financially stable, and quite a number are, to stop behaving like Kenyans and to clear their fees in order to enable the teachers run the school as they deal with the ones that are unable to pay.